Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Michael Pena Sr. Show here, December 17th, 2018. I'm your host, Michael Pena Sr. This show is to help you and teach you how to live on less than what you make, live debt-free, so later on you can live and give like nobody else. Listen, Vince Lombardi said, leaders are made, they are not born. They are made by hard effort, which is the price which all of us must pay to achieve any goal that is worthwhile. And I hope that you're achieving goals, you're going over goals, and you're trying to make a plan towards your goals. We talked about that in an earlier show, and I'm bringing it up because Meg and I had a great weekend going over what we want to achieve in 2019, and you got to have an accountability partner. You got to have somebody that's going to help you, and you got to have somebody to go over that stuff with. If you don't have, a wife, significant other, make me your accountability partner at CoachP2210@yahoo.com. Listen, and one of the biggest things that we were talking about this weekend too is finishing up our Christmas shopping. So I hope you're staying on budget. We don't want to go into debt to buy Christmas gifts. And it's like I was saying to Meg, and I didn't mean it this way, but I told her I just can't wait till this is over with because, I'm dealing with working at UPS. Now on the weekends, I'm dealing with buying Christmas gifts and trying to figure out what we got to get and everything. And I didn't mean it that way. She got a little upset because it's not that I want Christmas to be over with. I just want the extra stress of worrying about the money of Christmas to be over. And I said to her, and I'm going to suggest to you that no matter where you're at, you're done this weekend. Because I want to enjoy Christmas. I don't want to worry about, what else we need to get or who we didn't get for it. You know what? You have a budget, and I loved it when Meg said, and I didn't even suggest this to her, and it's something that I should suggest to you. She said she's going to stop making those little banana breads, and start wrapping them up and start giving them out to as many people as she can. People love that stuff. I love that stuff. It's a homemade, handmade thing, that's very inexpensive to do. So if there's some people you haven't gotten on your list, we got a couple of box full of Christmas cards, and she's going to make up cookies and banana breads and whatever, and you wrap those up and you give them away. People love that. Christmas is about saying, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So it's to celebrate that with other people, not to stress out and get yourself in a debt with people. And, and that brings me in, and I'm not looking for gloom and doom today, but this is something that has to be talked about. These things, it's a financial show. I want to make sure that people understand, some of the most important things that we talked about over the year, and I'll continuously talk about this because the questions are always asked of me when people are trying to get out of debt. They say, should I have life insurance? Should I pay for life insurance? And I've had that question a couple of times, so I wanted to bring that up. You should be reviewing your life insurance, your insurance portfolio, as I call it, your life insurance, health insurance, and your, car insurance every year. Take a look at it. And it's simple life insurance. You should be buying term life insurance, and you only need life insurance if there's somebody that depends on your income. If there's nobody that depends on your income, then you're okay. Okay. But the general rule of thumb is that if there's somebody that depends on your income, you're starting to build wealth and you're not yet self-insured, because that's the point that we will all reach if you follow my plan. Get a 20-year term insurance, get 10 times of what you make in life insurance. So if you're making $50,000 a year, you should have a $500,000 policy. And the simple fact is that if you make sure that your wishes are left, that insurance is put into a high growth mutual funds, then they'll get 10% approximately on that money, and they'll make $50,000 a year off of that life insurance. God forbid something would happen to you. And that brings me up to the next thing. You want to be able to plan correctly when it goes with life insurance. You need to have a will in place, especially if you have kids. I mean, you want to make sure things make it through probate court. You want to make sure that the proper planning's been done for your family. And, when it comes to life insurance, I tell people to get in touch with Zander Insurance. I use the same people Dave Ramsey uses. I've used Zander Insurance and just great deals right through Zander Insurance. As far as getting a will done, I mean, my local 653 guys, I've brought this up before. I know I got a lot of new UPS guys that are watching and listening to the show. But if you belong to Local 653 with UPS, we have free estate planning attorneys. Make sure you look that up because a will could cost up to $1,500 depending on the difficulties of it. But we get it done for free. I've had it done for free. Meg and I have had it done. We had it just done this past year. We've got our will, we've got our life insurance in place. You should have it in place. All right. Now, if you have to pay and you don't have free, what am I trying to say? Free legal service like we do at Local 653, go to LegalZoom. It's a pretty inexpensive way to get a will done. It's pretty simple. You just plug in answering questions and it will figure out the, what you need for a will in place for you. And I'm going to be bringing this up because before you even start the baby steps, this should be put in place. And, it's important, especially this time of the year. Again, I was out with Meg and we were talking about, I've 3 individuals that I was very close to, I lost around Christmas time, friends of mine. And the fact of the matter is they didn't have life insurance and they didn't have a will in place. And I bring this up because I was in that business and they still didn't have that stuff put in place. So get it in place. Do the right thing for your family. One of the biggest things that I say in my obituary, that if it says that he was a great planner, then I know that I've done my job as far as a man is concerned. And I've done what it takes to be a leader of my family. And I want you to be a leader of your family. So do the right thing. Get that stuff in place. All right. So, we're going to be talking a little bit more about UPS in my next episode because there's just some things going on there that's not making me happy. But I had to do this first. All right. So, Peanut Financial News for December 17th, 2018. The first thing up in Peanut Financial News is Newberry College, small college in Brookline, Massachusetts, is closing its doors after the spring of 2019. They're following what Mount Ida has done. Mount Ida, again, $77 million in debt. And it's assumed that Newberry College is in debt and they just can't stay up with the expensive. I mean, I'm bringing this up because you parents out there that got young adults that are looking into colleges, make sure that these private schools are financially stable before you send your kids there. It's a pretty, emotional situation. My son has gone through, his girlfriend has gone through with them, and all these kids that are his friends I've seen. It's not a pretty sight. The state schools are fine. I don't care what anybody says. The state's education is fine. They're not going to close their doors. It's not, make sure that you're bringing them and sending them to the right institution and that they're financially sound. Listen, UPS, what's going on? Is our volume down? It's Monday right now, December 17th. I'm going to find out when I go to work. I mean, I saw the South Park episode with Jeff Bezos. I hope you've seen that. You can get that on demand if you got Comcast. It's a pretty sad situation that, South Park, Amazon taking all this business. I don't know if that's why UPS volume seems to be a little down right now. If it was just a calm before the storm, we're going to find out this week. But check that out, the Jeff Bezos episode. It's pretty sad on South Park because what that gets me nervous about is it just shows people going to work for Amazon so they can order more stuff off of Amazon. And, that's not a good financial plan. That's the first thing I thought of. I mean, make sure you got your financial plan in place. Don't be just ordering stuff to order stuff because it's easy. Let's make sure we got our budget in place and we're ordering right. Hey, and a couple of last things. I mean, I love the football games this weekend. I mean, it's exciting. It keeps my juices flowing. What's your Super Bowl prediction for this year? Everything could be up in the air. The Patriots lost again yesterday. I'll tell you the truth. I look at who's the oldest quarterback that hasn't won a Super Bowl, and that's who I'm cheering for at this point. Because my team's the Giants. I know. You guys can say what you want. My team's the Giants that are definitely out of it. And when my team's out of it, I look at, okay, who's the oldest quarterback that's left that hasn't won it yet? And right now, that happens to be Phillip Rivers. Love the way he's been playing. Love what he's been doing. My other quarterback that I love to see is Andrew Luck. I want to see if he can, what he's like playing on the big stage. I'd love to see either Phillip Rivers or Andrew Luck go to a Super Bowl and win one this year. So, I mean, I watch the quarterbacks, I follow the quarterbacks because, QB Velocity. Make sure you like that page at QB Velocity. My son's got a lot of good things going on there. So, QB Velocity. Make sure we go there. Always in Pina Financial News, QB Velocity. One last thing, the Michael Pina Senior Show is going to be live starting January 27th, 2019. That's Sunday, January 7th, 2019. And we're going to do that at 7 p.m. 7 p.m. live, January 27th. So, I don't know how that's going to go, but I'm setting up the studio so we can get that kind of going better, and hopefully it'll be a better show for you. So, until next time, you got something you want me to talk about, you let me know. Because you know what I say, I want to win. I want to help you win. Let's win together.